an extraordinary life, that is life on your terms. Everyone's idea of an extraordinary life is different. I don't think it should be mine or anybody you know. Some people it's 3 beautiful children. Some it's writing poetry. Some people it's building $1 billion business. Whatever the hell it is, it doesn't matter. If it's what you want, that's what matters. What does it take to get that extraordinary life, life on your terms? It takes 2 skills. The science of achievement, and it's a science. Anything you want to achieve, someone else has probably done something like it, if not it, and they've shown you a pathway to power. If you try to learn by your own experience, it's painful. It could take decades. You never do it. But if you understand success leaves clues, then I find someone who's done something and it took them 10 years to figure it out, and I dig into their psyche and I figure out maybe in a few hours or a few days what that is, and I can save myself a decade because of their efforts of trial and error learning. I don't have to go through the trial and error. In business, other people's money is leverage in a business. Other people's experience is the ultimate leverage in changing your life. And so I'm always seeking out people the best in the world and learning from them. That's my goal, and I have people doing that with me. You can speed up your achievement, and everyone in this room is probably a big achiever, is my guess. The second skill is the more important skill. It's the art of fulfillment. If you're gonna have an extraordinary life, achievement will never give it to you. I don't give a shit how much money you make. I don't care how many Academy Awards you get. I don't care how many people love you. I don't care if you have perfect children. Because fulfillment is what makes us have so much joy that it's no longer about us because we're no longer in scarcity. Most people live in scarcity, trying to get something so they can feel like they're enough. But when you fill up with fulfillment, now there's so much in you that all you want to do is give. And when we look at life, I can tell you right now, there's one word that'll make you happy: progress. Because either you grow or you die. Your relationship's growing or it's dying. Your business is growing or it's dying. And if you grow, if you're making progress, even if you're not there yet, you're going to be alive. But in order to grow, in addition to growing, the reason I think we want to grow is because it gives us something to give. No matter how much money, friendship, no matter how much love, sex, rock and roll, drugs, alcohol, whatever you think is going to light your energy, you can only feel so much in yourself. But most of us, how many of you, when something great happens, the first thing you want to do is go share with somebody you love? How many can relate to this? Say, I. Why? Because we're made to step outside of ourselves. We're made to contribute. We're made to have a life of meaning, and that's what does it. So, 2 minutes, I promise. 2 seeds. Here's the 2 seeds. I'll give you the perfect example of why this is so important. 2 years ago, we lost what I consider to be a national treasure in this country, and that is Robin Williams. How many of you, don't raise your hand if you liked him. That's okay if you liked him. Only raise your hand if you loved him. How many loved Robin Williams? Keep your hand up if you truly loved him. I want you to look around the room and see the percentage. It's like 98% of the room. There's only 2 mean-ass, horrible people in this whole fucking room. They're tired, so they're not raising their hand, I understand. Robin Williams was the ultimate achiever, was he not? He said he wanted to make the whole world laugh. He said he wanted his own TV show. He said that he was going to have the #1 show, and everybody said, that's not gonna happen. And then this Mork and Mindy thing happened. Then he said, I want to have a beautiful family. Then he said, I want to make more money than I could spend. He did all of it. He achieved it all. He followed that sign. Then what did he say? He said, then I want to make movies. And he said, I want to win an Academy Award for a movie for not being funny, his primary skill set. And he won one, didn't he, for drama? He made more money, he had more attention, and everywhere I've gone this year, I've asked this question. And I've asked it in London, I've asked it in Australia, I've asked it in Brazil, I've asked it in China, in Japan, everywhere. 95% of the people around the earth love this man. And he hung himself. He killed himself. Because success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. He made everybody happy, but whom? You get on an airplane, the first thing they tell you is if we have problems, the mask comes down, put it on yourself first, then your child. That sounds selfish. It's not. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't give anything to anybody else. You have nothing to give. And this man left all hundreds of millions of people that loved him quite literally, and more importantly, his children and his wife, because he suffered. Alcohol and drugs he used to try to get out of suffering. Most people suffer, they just don't call it that. They call it pissed off. They call it worried. They call it concerned. They call it overwhelmed. They call it stressed. If you asked me a year and a half ago, do I suffer? I'd say, are you crazy? I've got 4 of the most amazing children. I got the greatest wife on the face of the planet. I get to serve millions of people. I have such freedom in my life and love and joy. And I would have been totally sincere. I wasn't being inauthentic. However, I did suffer. I just didn't call it that because it wouldn't be consistent with my identity or yours. What was my suffering? Stress, frustration, overwhelm. And I'd say, well, that's part of the process. Bullshit. That's the mind undirected. That's when you let your mind run you instead of your heart and your soul. So the seed I'd like to plant with you is, freedom comes when you make one decision. I'm a big believer that all of our lives in this room, you tell me if you agree or disagree, I'm okay if you disagree. How many believe that it's your decisions that have shaped your life much more than your conditions? I'm curious. Raise your hand if you agree. Say aye. Aye. I know it to be true because I've dealt with millions of people. I bet if you thought about it right now, you could look over the last 5 or 10 years of your life and say, has there been a decision you made along the way that if you made a different decision, you would have a totally different life? Better or worse, I don't know, but it would be different. How many can think of a decision that truly would give you a different life if you made the different decision? So the most important decision, and this is a seed I want to plant, if you'd asked me a year ago, I'd say who you love is the most important decision. Who you're going to spend time with is who you become. As important as that is, my wife and I both agree now, there's a decision actually more important now because the one you love could die. They could change their mind. They could leave you. I can't control that. I want you to have joy for a lifetime. There's only one way to do that. You have to decide that you have decided life is too short to suffer. You have to decide that I'm going to be happy no matter what, even when things don't go my way, even when the most horrific thing happens, because from a place, not just happiness, because happiness is trite. It can be. If you're happy all the time, your face even hurts. So beautiful state means anything that empowers you. So it could be happy, it could be joy, it could be gratitude, it could be love, it could be passion, it could be courage, it could be anything that makes us better as a human being. We either live in beautiful states or we suffer. There's no in between. And what I've learned is suffering is not required. That even though it happens, it'll still happen to me. I have a 90-second rule. I start to get stressed about something, and 90 seconds, my whole family, we do this, we've been doing it for a year and a half, giving us more liberation than anything. In 90 seconds, I cure it. The way I cure it is I know the only reason I'm upset is I'm believing my own thoughts. We're unique as creatures. We can make up thoughts, think about them, and piss ourselves off, freak ourselves out, or excite the hell out of ourselves. And you didn't create these thoughts. They're not your thoughts. They've been around a million years. How many people before you thought, I want to kill this bastard, or I feel lonely? Those thoughts have been around forever. They're in the ether. If I told you 100 years ago there's going to be a box in your pocket and you can click on it and see people around the world and talk to them by invisible ways being pulled into the box, you'd say I'm crazy. Well, thoughts are around you, and the way you use your body and mind determines which channel you go in. If I turn on a TV, I can do one channel and it's a horror channel. I turn another one and it's like it's a romance. You can learn to navigate this. I can't tell all the ways to do it, but I can tell you the first step is drawing a line in the sand. I tell people, if you want to take the island, you burn the boats. Because if you have a way back, human beings will find the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance will never make you proud. So here's the invitation we got. What would life be like if you decided I am not going to suffer another day that I live? That life is too beautiful to suffer. That all I have to do is when those thoughts come by that I think, oh my God, if this happens, my life's over. If I do this, it's so horrible, I'll be humiliated. If you just let that go and said it's all bullshit, that's the mind. And all you begin to do is find something to appreciate. See, I'm here to tell you, I'll give you one example. I get on a plane.